Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Morning, everybody. We are starting off with this picture of this beautiful baby. We're going to cover this also in just a minute. There's a lot to cover again today, but 90% of this video is about what's going on with Prince Harry's phone hacking case. So let's just jump right in and get there, shall we? Let's go. We are going to start off. Princess Eugenie and her husband Jack had a baby boy. They named him Ernest George Ronnie Brookbanks. He is 13th in line to the throne. Congratulations. All right, moving on. Moving on to Princess Catherine, she is backing the Sun's fabulous Baby Bank on Us campaign. We know that Catherine is all about, importance of early childhood. She's asking people to volunteer or donate to help for a better society. Now, this is a campaign to help struggling families throughout Britain. There's 200 baby banks. They need nappies or diapers, toys, clothes, from babies up to age 5. Catherine already said that, the banks are doing an incredible job, but building and supporting them is so important. So go through your dressers, go through your drawers, and donate, donate, donate. All right, moving on. Next up, British Sporting Art put up these pictures. Apparently, the Queen went last week to their palace house and they unveiled new commissioned artworks. And also the Queen got to meet some of the other teams. Fabulous. Next up, King Charles sent a message of condolence to the President of India after the horrible train crash that we all saw on TV. Very nice. Next up, the Duke of Kent officially named a lifeboat, the Duke of Edinburgh, for Prince Philip in recognition of his long-standing commitment to maritime services. Very nice. All right, next up, I reported to you guys about a year and a half ago. It came out that, Meghan was like, I don't know how to have tea. I don't know how to act in front of the Queen. And we found out that she actually went to a tea room in California and was taught how to do all that before she met the Queen for the first time. Well, the owner said that Meghan was given a, quote, great opportunity to make a positive change in the world, but in his words, they spoiled that chance with the comments that they've made about the royals in the media. And he said that a lot of his clients who come to the tea room regularly are very disheartened by her behavior. I bet they are. So are we. Really quickly, I just want to throw this in here. Spotify is cutting more jobs, trying to save money. One would think that to save money, they could just cut the Archetypes podcast off and stop paying Meghan Markle for this ridiculous thing. But I don't know what kind of a deal they have or if it's even continuing. I hope not. All right, moving on. He pointed out, rightfully so, that when they first stepped back, they were talking about being ambassadors of the world, being involved with disabled people. They had such a great opportunity, and now all you hear about is Netflix and Oprah. Moving on. Most of you may not know this. Thank you to Laird of the Manor. Did you know that Harry is being sued in the Bahamas by a former security guard? Supposedly, in the book, Harry defamed the guard. He said Harry falsely accused him of being involved in a plot to kidnap Archie. Harry says this isn't true, and the lawyers have said the case should be dismissed. Let's see what happens. Moving on. Okay, here we go. So, Harry and Meghan's daughter had her birthday, her second birthday, and everybody went, oh, those horrible royals. They've snubbed her. They haven't put out any greetings for her birthday. Okay, well, first of all, first thing I noticed is, per Neil Sean, and I agree with this, he said that the royals have no relationship with these children whatsoever. None. Harry and Meghan never bring them for visits. The children have never really met William or Catherine. They've never met their cousins. They've never had a chance to bond with the cousins. Nothing. And this is totally on Harry and Meghan's doorstep, and it's totally their fault. And people are saying, oh, I just think this is terrible of the royals. One of these articles came out, and my jaw literally just hit the ground because it said, let me see, I think it's this next one. They issued a warning ahead of her birthday. I'm like, what warning? What kind of warning? Like, are you kidding? How about they're petty and vindictive? The royal family are petty and vindictive. I agree with Pooja. Harry and Meghan didn't publicly wish George, Charlotte, or Louis happy birthday on their birthdays, or Charles, or William, or Catherine for that matter. So why would the royal family acknowledge them? Same thing with Akua. This is the second year in a row that Harry and Meghan have not said anything to the royals about their birthdays, but nobody wants to talk about that one. All right, you guys, here we go. It was the first day of court, and Harry was a no-show, and the judge was very unhappy. Let me tell you, he directed Harry to be there on the first day. Now, this is the case against the Mirror Group. This is one of several lawsuits that Harry has going against the media, where he claims that they unlawfully hacked his phone and it was unlawful information gathering. And, so we've been up for this. We're waiting. So the judge was more than just a little surprised because he'd asked him and all available witnesses to be there that day. And Harry just wasn't there. It just wasn't there. Why wasn't he there? Well, he was tired from his flight. He was jet lagged. Now, the reason he was jet lagged was because he decided to stay behind to celebrate his daughter's birthday. She's 2. They could have had the party the day before. I don't think she would have noticed. But the Mirror Group's attorney said, I needed a day and a half to cross-examine him, and the witnesses were supposed to be available today, and I find it deeply troubling that he just basically blew the court off, which is what he did. Well, let me tell you, GB News had something to say. Oh, listen to this.
And it's Prince Harry not turning up to court. Is Harry really so thick that he thinks that it's a good idea to anger the judge in his phone hacking trial? Well, apparently so. He was supposed to be in court today, ready to give evidence if needed, but he pulled out at the last minute because he wanted to attend his daughter's birthday party. I mean, he only had a year to plan for it. She's only 2 as well, so she wouldn't really have known it if it was a day earlier. What a muppet. How on earth can Harry expect to be taken seriously if he's late for his own court date, letting his legal team and the judge down? But Harry is so arrogant and entitled that he thinks he can actually call a court case and then not show up because it doesn't work around his life. You can picture the scene, can't you, at Woke Mansion in California? Meghan pipes up at the last minute as Harry's out the door. Harry, where are you going? Well, I've got my court case. Oh, is that today? But it's Lilibet's birthday. Oprah will be here. You can't let her down. I mean, this trial, good grief, is make or break for Harry. He will face brutal cross-examination. And in a court of law versus a top barrister, his truth won't matter. The truth will. Reportedly, the judge has the power to say that Harry has brought these accusations too late and could potentially dismiss some of them, which would save everyone a lot of time, frankly. Mirror Group may argue that they received information from anonymous tip-offs, or just genuine tip-offs, really, and not from phone hacking, which, again, could see Harry out on his backside. But for me, this last-minute no-show, supposedly due to his daughter's birthday, strongly implies that there are issues going on at home, and it might not just be the judge kicking him out on the curb soon.
I don't think he was jet lagged. I think he's woefully unprepared for what's going to happen, and I think his barrister didn't want him there. So what we heard today was that Harry is accused of wasting the court's time by not turning up. His attorney, Harry's attorney, asked why journalists mentioned that he was not appearing in court to give evidence. Mr. Sherborne said nothing about Harry's life is sacrosanct or out of bounds, that every period of his life was invaded by unlawful information gathering. It was said that the Mirror Group journalists listened to Princess Diana's voicemails when Piers Morgan was the editor. We heard more about Harry's relationship with Chelsea Davy, but the attorney for the Mirror Group, Andrew Green, said there's no evidence presented so far that says that Harry's phone was hacked at all. He said that Princess Diana's voicemails being hacked was complete speculation, and that the court journalists would not have been aware of the erroneous risk of targeting Harry, that there's no evidence of unlawful activity, and former Mirror journalist Anthony Harwood denied knowledge that any other reporter was involved in the unlawful information gathering. I mean, just having Harry's attorney say that for him, his travel and security is more complicated is a slap in the face to the court. I agree with Unlikely Bot here. Harry was supposed to be on the stand today. He wasn't. No wonder they're upset. I mean, you're acting like he's above the law. Even the attorney for the Mirror Group said that his team has done everything to be responsible and not waste the court time. And this is just a joke what he did. Well, I completely agree with Sunshine Breeze. Who wants to take a bet on how long it's going to be before somebody is able to prove that Harry perjures himself on the stand? And I also saw this in several places. Harry expects to be called Your Grace while he's on the stand. Yeah, he misses the royal family. And I agree with Meghan's mole. So when he didn't have to show up, he did. And when he is supposed to show up, he doesn't? And this Twitter user put it spot on. He showed up basically merching a Dior suit when he wasn't required. Yeah. All right. So, again, the news had something to say. Listen to this.
Turn up today to ready himself for this major cross-examination tomorrow?
That is a useful insight. It's a good question, isn't it? Because what it really displays is Harry's innate arrogance, because he thinks that there's no reason for him not to keep everybody waiting. Just because the judge said everybody should be available from the day before, well, that doesn't apply to him. Trust me, that little girl will not really care too much whether Daddy was there or not. Daddy simply wanted to be there, so he decided a British court should have to wait on him. Yeah. And I think that's actually insulting to the court. I think it displays his arrogance, and I don't think it will go down that well with the judge.
Personally, I think they're prepping Harry because we all know that his memory is not exactly what it should be. And they're going to come at him from every corner, from every angle. No question is going to be off limits. They're going to ask him the same question 20 different times. They're going to trip him up. It's not going to be good, and he's going to be made to look like a fool. I think he lost the other case. I honestly believe he's going to lose this case. And then the other cases, he's waiting to hear if he's going to be allowed to move forward. I got to be honest, I don't think he's going to be able to. That's it. Now, for those who want to know what went on in court today, there was only one witness, and it was former Mirror journalist Anthony Harwood. And basically what he said is the risks involved in hacking Prince Harry are so great, no one would have done it because a royal correspondent at News of the World was jailed in 2006. So at that time, he said, it just becomes too scary. And supposedly the claims are backed up with invoices, which don't amount to much, per Mr. Green. And he's saying that a lot of what Mr. Sherborne is saying is quote unquote fluff and doesn't amount to any proof of information gathering that was unlawful. Now, apparently there are payment records to third parties, and Mr. Green says, listen, these are payments to photo agencies for photos, and every single time one of these comes up, Harry claims it's an instance of unlawful information gathering, but that's just not the case. In talking about Princess Diana, Mr. Sherborne showed the court letters from Diana where she discussed meetings and expressed surprise that they'd become public. And Mr. Green goes, those letters aren't evidence of voicemail interceptions, and there's no other evidence that they were intercepted. Let me just tell you, if this is the best that Harry has, this case is in the toilet already, because we already heard he had no real evidence, and it pretty much shows that he's got no real evidence. He's making a lot of allegations with no evidence. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I'll be letting you know what happens tomorrow. And yeah, you guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that bell. Don't forget to leave those comments below. Don't forget to go into the description box. You'll find the links to my Twitter, my Getter, my Rumble, my email, my Patreon, my physical address. For those of you who've donated to the coffee fund or through my thanks button, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.